west to study an American university with modern weapons to finally defeat several ongoing rebellions, it looked like the Qing dynasty might actually save itself from utter defeat. However, even as the government tried to change, a series of conservative forces held China back. While the study of modern science and technology was promoted, many young people had little faith in the new path being offered. Study of Confucian classics and passage of the standardized civil service exam was the only reliable route for those wishing to advance their own careers. The things taught in American and European universities were seen as valuable to the nation, but earned Chinese students little respect and even less job security. And though China had purchased a new fleet of ships from all across Europe, its navy was still clumsily managed. Their naval forces were essentially broken up into 4 separate fleets, each functioning in its own region with little to no coordination. The partially modernized army suffered from a similar lack of centralized leadership. Troops were often conscripted and trained at the local level, leaving China's army broken up into several smaller fighting forces, each led by a different high-ranking imperial official. Broken up into 4 separate fleets. In 1873, the 17-year-old Emperor Tongzhi was put in direct control of the government, despite his age. This move showcased a core flaw in the Qing dynasty's modernization movement, namely their complete unwillingness to emulate new modes of governance. Without the more consultative, merit-based forms of government that dominated more powerful nations, China struggled to construct a resilient society. Rampant corruption and institutional malaise proved too great a challenge, even for the most ardent reformers. Needless to say, the self-strengthening movement was a failure. Except the Tongzhi reforms weren't Imperial China's only attempt at reform. After Tongzhi's death in 1875, the Guangxu Emperor ascended to the throne. And while he spent his first 24 years in the office only nominally ruling while his aunt, the Dowager Empress Cixi, governed, he did have a brief 9-year window of power beginning in 1889. Following China's embarrassing defeat in the Sino-Japanese War, a panoply of groups across the country began advocating for modernization. Intellectuals across China began to publish works arguing for various paths to reform.
Let's get this done.
And in 1898, during his aunt's semi-retirement, the Guangxu Emperor began to accede to the requests of certain moderate reformers. On the 11th of June, the emperor issued his first reform decree in which he asked the people of China to study foreign subjects like medicine and engineering. Shortly after, the emperor began to speed up reforms, moderating himself less and less. In total, 40 separate imperial commands aimed at modernization were written into law. The Confucian civil service was to be dismantled and replaced with a national system of universities and lower secondary and primary schools. Modernized systems of commerce, medical education, and scientific.
That went swimmingly. Need some advice?
At your service. Good luck.
Need a hand? So far, so good.
What is this?
There is no time to waste. Need some advice?
What is this?
Research were adopted.
You killed those heretics? Bloody good work.
Don't be shy. My pleasure. Buying or selling. Stay honest.
Less talking, more walking. Do I have to do it myself?
You handled yourself well, friend. You can call me Silas.
Takes that long.
Only the highest quality.
You've done this before, haven't you? Well done. On you go.
I have 4 minutes.
Advanced industry was promoted. The nation's law codes, the civil administration, and the military were
was
all
fast.
reworked to emulate
You got
European,
this.
Japanese, and American systems of organization. Though inspiring, the emperor's reforms didn't last. The very same year they were written into law, in 1898, the old guard of Imperial China began to chafe under Guangxu's reforms. Corrupt military leaders, local governors, and Confucian civil administrators felt power slipping through their fingers. These forces quickly rallied around the more conservative Dowager Empress Cixi. Forced out of retirement, the Dowager carried out a coup d'etat and restored herself to power. Though 2 important imperial advisors escaped to Japan, at least 6 of the emperor's reform-oriented staff were executed. Guangxu was imprisoned in his palace, rather than being killed. The people of China, left frustrated with government inertia and despondent over the barrage of foreign attacks, found hope in a wide array of political movements and secret societies. Chief among them was, and I'm not joking, the Society for Righteous and Harmonious Fists, more commonly known as the Boxer Movement. The Boxers were a complex group with a fascinating array of beliefs. But at their core, the movement had one goal: to rid China of all they considered foreign influence. The movement began in the 1890s in northern China, and originally was dedicated to overthrow the Qing dynasty. However, as time passed and their membership rosters expanded, the Boxers grew increasingly focused on the foreign powers that had come to dominate key spheres within Chinese society. The Boxers were most prevalent in Shandong province, just south of the capital Beijing. In this province, poverty had grown relentlessly after years of war, drought, and famine. To To make matters worse, unemployed youth turned to banditry en masse to survive, worsening conditions in the region. Chinese Christian converts became a lightning rod for peasant resentment. The faith became a shield for many bandits because of its official protection
Back
under
already.
imperial law, owing
You know
to
what
various
to do.
treaties signed with European powers. Many converts were able to avoid punishment with impunity. Meanwhile, in Beijing,
want?
Dowager Empress Cixi was looking for a way to combat foreign influence. Despite their anti-Qing origins, imperial conservatives largely saw the Boxers as a useful tool to combat foreign powers. After a brief skirmish between the two factions, agents of Cixi convinced the group to abandon their opposition to her government and instead support the Qing in destroying the foreigners. After this, the governor of Shandong began to employ Boxer bands as local militias. In late
One step
1899,
at a time.
Boxer gangs began openly assaulting Christian missionaries
She
and their
floats
local Chinese
again.
followers.
The tide.
These Boxer forces began to march north, distributing anti-Christian propaganda to local peasants. As the march went on, the Boxers burned foreign-built buildings, tore down churches, and slaughtered groups of foreigners and predominantly Chinese Christians. In May of 1900, the Boxers had come to surround the rural areas near Beijing. The city of Beijing housed a population of over 1 million, with a significant number of foreigners in the international legations quarter. The legation's fearful residents and the actual diplomats who lived there began to contact their nations for help. In June of 1900, the foreign powers responded to the Boxer mobs with an 8-nation alliance. A force of 2,100 Marines and sailors began to journey towards Beijing. Before they could arrive, thousands of Boxers flooded the city of Beijing and began a mass killing of Chinese Christians. A population of 3,000 Chinese civilians found refuge within the walls of the legation's quarter. On June 11th, Japanese ambassador Sugiyami Akira was assassinated by Boxer troops when he tried to leave the city to meet the incoming relief force. On the 17th of June, a second legion of the 8-nation alliance seized control of the coastal Daegu forts. The next day, Dowager Empress Cixi ordered the indiscriminate killing of all foreigners within the country. The terrified residents of the legation's quarter found themselves besieged. Having received word of the Boxer rebellion, the 8-nation alliance swiftly assembled a force of 19,000 troops, more than 40% of which came from Japan. On the 14th of August, the massive force took control of Beijing, ending the 8-week-long siege of the legation quarter. After much negotiation, in September of 1901, the Boxer Protocol was signed, mandating $330 million in reparations be paid to the 8-nation alliance, and indemnity far smaller than what the Japanese initially requested. Despite initial Japanese opposition, American diplomats persuaded the alliance to abstain from seizing larger pieces of Chinese territory. Instead, they were convinced to embrace the open door policy, concocted by U.S. Secretary of State John Hay, which mandated Qing territorial integrity be protected, leaving China open to equal investing and trade with all powers. From 1904 to 1905, the people of Japan fought and won a war with the Russian Empire. The historic victory showcased the extent of Japanese power in East Asia. The war saw Manchuria, the enormous northern homeland of the Qing, placed under Japanese control. What's more, after losses to European powers following the First Sino-Japanese War, Japan had successfully regained control of the Liaodong Peninsula, where the city of Port Arthur sat. And perhaps the greatest prize of all, Korea was now firmly under Japanese control. Unsatisfied with the open-door policy, from 1905 to 1907, Japan sought greater territorial control in China. Having taken control of Taiwan in 1895, the Japanese Empire saw the nearby province of Fujian as the ideal place for expansion. However, at this time they were also trying to obtain loans from France, which supported the open-door policy. The French, fearful of territorial conflict, bound Japan to the policy as a condition of their financial agreement. In 1907, the Japanese forced the abdication of Gojong, the Korean monarch. After his departure, the monarchy was removed from power and an extensive campaign of Japanese domination began in the country. In 1910, Japan officially annexed Korea, beginning a manifold effort to forcibly integrate Korea with Japan.
Got something
A
better
web
to do?
of Japanese military forces, business
Colour
interests,
me
and Meiji-era
impressed.
officials
Come
seized
back when
control
you're
of the
ready.
education system, the police, land ownership, and other key aspects of Korean life.
Need something?
Japanese settlers and businesses interested in agriculture were given land that had been seized from Korean peasants. Those same peasants were
Deadly
forced to
weapons.
perform days of
Agile armor.
compulsory labor and paid exorbitant taxes to fund large-scale irrigation
Come back.
projects.
If you
In
make it.
schools, Korean language and history were suppressed, while the Japanese language was promoted. These abuses would continue in Korea for the next 35 years. Perhaps chastened by the disastrous Boxer Rebellion, Qing officials seemed to experience a brief period of lucidity. From 1901 to 1911, Cixi and the imperial court implemented several last-ditch reforms attempting, once again, to modernize their country. In 1901, but the Asian sphere, though less central to the conflict itself, was still the backdrop for a massive expansion of Japanese influence over China. In 1914, when the war broke out, Japan saw a great opportunity. Having signed a treaty with the British Empire in 1902, the Japanese were well placed to join the Allies and fight the Germans in the Pacific. Since 1898, Germany had controlled the city of Qingdao in Shandong province. A joint Anglo-Japanese force, led by Japan, lay siege to the German-controlled region. By November of 1914, the Germans had surrendered, leaving much of Shandong in Japanese hands. The events that followed are known to history as the 21 Demands, a Japanese attempt to diplomatically strong-arm China into granting the Pacific Empire many of the special privileges that European powers already enjoyed in the country. The demands were wide-ranging. Some were aggressive, but nevertheless expected requests like extended control over Port Arthur, Manchuria, and Shandong, or guarantees of Japanese railroad and mining interests in the country. Other demands, however, were far more extreme. For example, Sections 5 and 6 of the demands would have given Japan power over matters of taxation, government financing, state decision-making, and internal policing, all of which would arguably make China a Japanese protectorate. Enraged and dumbfounded, Chinese President Yuan Shikai rejected the initial demands. The Japanese returned to the negotiating table with a simplified list of only 13 demands, the more egregious requests having been omitted. Tacked onto the new demands was the ultimatum giving the Chinese only 2 days to respond. Yuan Shikai capitulated to Japanese demands and signed the various agreements into law on the 25th of May, 1915. In China, domestic resentment towards the deal with Japan and the Treaty of Versailles was explosive. The issue became known as the Shandong Question and served as a lightning rod for a new sense of Chinese nationalism. This sense of national outrage mixed with national identity was, in no small part, dependent upon a certain anti-Japanese sentiment. One could argue that this event, more than any other, is responsible for the birth of a new, far more aggressive variety of Chinese nationalism. Since the end of their war with Russia, Japan had exercised a hefty degree of control over Manchuria. However, this control came from the support of a man named Zhang Zuolin, the region's powerful warlord. But in 1928, the overconfident Zhang angered his Japanese overlords and found himself on the wrong end of an assassin's pistol. His successor caused similar offense when he explicitly aligned himself with the Republic of China. So, in September of 1931, the Japanese army staged a fake Chinese attack on the South Manchurian Railway, which Japan controlled. The quote-unquote attack was nothing more than a pithy explosion which caused 0 damage. Nevertheless, it served as sufficient pretext for invasion. The Japanese army easily took control of the city of Mukden before mounting a full-scale invasion of Manchuria only 3 days later. The Republic of China ordered its troops to withdraw from the region, leaving Manchuria firmly under Japanese control.
Found everything you need?
In the end, China lost
Let's
some
do
500
this.
soldiers, the Japanese only lost 2. The empire installed a superficial puppet government headed by the previously abdicated Chinese emperor Po Yi and named this new country Manchukuo. Using the landmass as a base of operations, the Japanese proceeded to interfere in the region known as Inner Mongolia. Here, starting in 1935, well-organized imperial army soldiers pushed out Chinese forces with only light resistance, allowing the Japanese a significant measure of unofficial control over the region. In 1937, 6 years after the Mukden incident, Japanese forces clashed with Chinese troops at the Marco Polo Bridge, frighteningly close to Beijing. This marked a turning point. The conflict in the far north of China had spread to the most populous regions of the country. Since Mukden, an even greater wave of nationalism had spread through Chinese society. Despite their nearly irreconcilable differences, the factions and the warlords were suddenly united in their mission to oppose Japan with all they had. But this newly found unity of purpose did not instantly translate into defensive capacity. For the first 2 years of this new war, the Japanese army found remarkable success. The Empire's forces seized major cities and provincial capitals, going as far west as Hankow. They seized control of the majority of ports and dominated the rail network throughout most of the country. After a 3-month-long siege, Chinese forces lost Shanghai in November of 1937 and were forced to flee the area. But the greatest loss in this second Sino-Japanese war was yet to come. In December, after chasing the fleeing Chinese soldiers for more than 200 miles, Japanese troops seized control of the nationalist capital, Nanjing. Outraged and humiliated by the lengthy siege of Shanghai, the Japanese forces were once again hungry for revenge. What followed over the course of the next 6 weeks is known as the Nanjing Massacre, more commonly, the Rape of Nanjing. Prince Yasuhiko Asaka, the emperor's uncle and leader of the Japanese forces, ordered his troops to kill all the captives that Japan had taken prisoner. The criminal directive was followed, and 90,000 unarmed prisoners of war were put to death. Not satisfied with the scale of their first atrocity, the Japanese soldiers went on to murder every military-aged male they could find in Nanjing. Their methods of execution were manifold. Some POWs were used for target practice or were impaled with bayonets. Some were lined up and beheaded 100 at a time. The Japanese even made a game of practice, competing to see who could lob off heads faster than the rest. Some Japanese soldiers transformed the procedures of execution into an assembly line, having the condemned shove rows of bodies into mass graves and find themselves next to the chopper. Japanese officers set their newest recruits to work, having to slaughter the men en masse so that they could become accustomed to the horrors of war. And yet, many of the killings were far worse than anything one might see on the battlefield. Some of the victims were made to drink kerosene before being shot so that they would explode on impact. Several were forced out onto the frozen ice and water in groups until the ice broke under their weight, drowning them as they were all dragged beneath the surface.
Talk to Silas.
Infants were stabbed with bayonets and tossed into pots of boiling water for sport. Many Chinese were buried up to their necks in sand by their countrymen. The buriers then became the buried, one after another, until the last man. They were left for dead without the courtesy of a bullet to the head. In the end, at least 260,000 civilians were murdered, well over half the population of Nanjing. But this number does not include the 90,000 soldiers who were killed after surrender, which would raise the count to 350,000. The crimes against humanity did not stop at murder. At least 20,000 and as many as 80,000 women were raped by gangs of Japanese soldiers. The victims were assaulted by 10 or 20 men at a time, only to be murdered in the aftermath. Troops raided businesses and private homes under the guise of collecting food, destroying shop fronts and breaking down doors to loot and pillage. A Nazi trade representative named John Rabe was living in the city at the time. Despite his party affiliation, Rabe was disgusted by what he saw taking place. Under his leadership, a small coalition of about 24 foreigners who had not fled the city established the 2.5 square mile Nanjing safety zone. There, some 250,000 civilians hid, though they were subject to frequent raids by the Japanese military. The following is an excerpt from Rabe's journal, dated December 13th, 1937. The dead and wounded lie side by side in the driveway leading up to the foreign ministry. At the entrance is a wheelbarrow containing a formless mass, ostensibly a corpse. It's not until we tour the city that we learn the extent of the destruction. We come across corpses every 1 to 200 yards. The bodies of civilians that I examined had bullet holes in their backs. These people had presumably been fleeing and were shot from behind. The Japanese marked.
Welcome back to episode 7 of $10 to a Knife. This is the series where we start with $10 and we do extremely profitable trade-ups until we have enough balance to get a knife. Originally, I was going to do this series until we hit 10,000 subscribers, but that already happened. So massive thank you for that, but we don't have enough balance for a knife yet, so I'm going to continue the series. So if you have any suggestions for the knife that I should be aiming for, then let me know, because I kind of want to set a goal. I feel like it's easier to head towards something than to just head towards a knife. Once again, a quick reminder that I'm buying skins from Buff for overpay just to make it quicker for me to make the videos, but if you invest enough time and effort, then these trade-ups are all possible to do on Steam, just buying the skins at market price. So we ended off the last episode with $30.44 in the balance, which is less than what we started with in the previous 2 episodes, but it's time to bounce back and let's start doing some profitable trade-ups. Alright, let's kick this video off with a Minimaware Ice Cold trade-up. I really hope that our luck returns to normal and that we hit the Minimaware Ice Cold. So Gaben, please, please, please give me the Ice Cold. 3, 2, 1. Please, Ice Cold? No. Ugh. Can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. It's time to do some more Ice Cold trade-ups. This is a 6-4 split between Field Tested and Minimaware. And we have a 33% chance to get good profit, 33% chance to get small profit, 33% chance to lose a little bit. This is a less risky Ice Cold / duality trade-up. So please, give me the Ice Cold or the duality in 3, 2, 1. Oh, we get another glitch. AK Ice Cold, Op duality. Yes, Ice Cold. Beautiful. Yes. Alright, and the next one, we're actually going to be putting in a Horizon skin. So we could get the M4A1S Nightmare, which would be the best outcome. This is a 5-5 split between Field Tested and Minimaware. So please, give me the M4A1S Nightmare, or at least a profit outcome. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's profit. That's profit. We take it. We take a profit outcome. That is beautiful. Both Minimaware. Finally, it looks like we might be able to climb out of this hole that I put myself into. We have another Ice Cold trade up. This is going to be a trash version because we're using 2 fillers. Hopefully we do not hit the filler collection. Here we go. Ice Cold or duality in 3, 2, 1. Oh my god, another kiss love, are you kidding me? Bro, that's... Alright, we have one more attempt at this Ice Cold / duality trade up. This time, it's gonna be a 9 Field Tested 1 Minimaware split. So we're only happy with the op or the AK, but I believe, so here we go. So we're only happy with the op or the what? 7 I man, yes! $20 of profit, I think, if I remember correctly. If not, it's close to 20, but you'll see it on screen. Yes, bro, finally! That makes me so happy. We're 9 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. So first, we're gonna do a Stat Track Minimaware Ice Cold trade up. Here we go. Please, Gaben, please give me the Ice Cold in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ice Cold. No, we got the glitch. Come on. Please. 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 No! Stupid sawed off, man! Another one! Screw you, sawed off Kislev. Seriously. So many, man. So many. Alright, guys, it is time. We have 9,996 subscribers. So I must put in the skins. The Stat Track Factory New AK Ice Cold. Actually, I need to check the first before I'm ready to trade up. There should be 9 Minimawares and 1 Factory New. We have 5 subs away, ready to trade up. Now we wait for 10,000 subscribers. This is really exciting. I am extremely nervous, but I'm really hoping this comes through. 3 more subs to go, guys. Here we go. We're very close. 9,998 subscribers. We have 2 more to go. We have 10,000 and clicking the button, and we're getting the Stat Track Factory New AK-47 Ice Cold. Ooh, this is exciting. This is exciting. exciting. Oh, we just lost 3 subscribers. People are literally unsubscribing just so that I don't do the trade up. This is hilarious. Yeet. No. No, okay, that's break even though. With 10,000 subscribers. We did it, boys. We did it. I'll take a break-even outcome. I'll take a break-even outcome, man. I announced the giveaway in the previous video because I pre-recorded some episodes. So the Shadow Daggers lore giveaway has already ended when this video will go up. But you would have known about it because I posted about it everywhere. Alright, we're still here in the stream. And we have a minimal wear, op duality trade up. Hopefully we hit the duality from this. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, op duality. Oh, it's the Wicked Sick. I forget how much of a loss that is, but that is unfortunately a loss indeed. We're gonna do a minimal wear ice cold trade up. 33%. We haven't hit anything good in the stream yet. So hopefully this is gonna be it. Here we go. Ice cold trade up in 3, 2, 1. No! What is this, man? What is this? Bruh! Like, what? How? Alrighty, we are going to do another minimal wear off duality trade up. This has to hit, man. This has to hit. Please, man. Please give me the duality. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off duality. It has to be the op duality. Come on, bro. Just seriously. Just give me a break. If this isn't an ice, please give me the AK Ice Cold. Actually, this float combination is gonna give me a 66666. I forget how many sixes, but a 2, 1. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Factory new AK-47 Ice Cold with a bunch of sixes. That doesn't add anything to float. Finally, that's what I was waiting for. Let's freaking go. Yes. Let me just point out the fact that we had 2 cents left in the balance doing that trade up, so we got incredibly lucky, and we would really be scraping the bottom of the barrel if we hit the sawed off. That would literally set us back to $15 in the balance. Alrighty, boys, we have another Stat Track Factory new AK trade up. This is 10 minimal wear skins. This is about as good as it's gonna get. AK Ice Cold, give me another one. Give me 2 in a row. In 3, 2, 1. Yes! We got another one! Yes! Let's go! 2 in a row! I can't believe it! There we go! There we go! Our luck is certainly back. 2 AK Ice Colds. It is just wow. We hit 2 Stat Track Factory new Ice Colds in a row, putting us at above $100 in the balance. I'm gonna do 1 more Stat Track Factory new Ice Cold trade up in this video, and then we're gonna end it off. Hit the last 2. So let's see if we can hit 3 in a row. 3, 2, 1. Yes! We hit 3 in a row. What? What? Bro, the balance is gonna be such stonkers right now. We 3 AKs in a row. I cannot believe it. That pays for every single piece of bad luck that I've faced so far. That is insane. We just hit the 3rd one in a row too, and that puts our balance at $150.90. This means we could buy a knife, we could buy a Huntsman Urban Mast field tested, or a gut knife black laminate field tested, and still have a few dollars left over. Now I will not be buying these knives. I will be continuing the series, so stay tuned. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're finally back at it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in episode 8.
Subscribe to Tech Savvy Scientist for all.
What's going on, guys? Tact here, and today we are back with another video. We are back on Hype Drop. $2,500 deposited today. You guys support me, make sure you use my code CA16. Click apply, 5% off. The code that was the best thing. If you don't want to support me, at least support another YouTuber, man. It gives them some money, and it also gives you some extra. You know, you don't lose any money helping us out, and it does help out a lot. Let's go and get this started, though. Last video you didn't watch, I highly suggest you go watch it. We did 100 of one case. We will not be doing that case again. I'm tired of seeing it. Alright, I'll tell you what I do want to see. Alright? I want to see my case. I want to see my case in 4 ways. Alright? I want to try and get lucky to start this video off. Got a little bit more money than normal for videos. So, normally I do about $2,000. We got $2,500 because I wanted to start off with a 4-way battle on my case. And we got baited on the court. Oh, we just got baited so bad. But we are in the lead, right? 460? No, he has 5. How much is that? 13. Okay, he pulled. He hit something on my 6. I mean, that would dance. Let's freaking to up it. But I'm going to go ahead and run it back. Because, I mean, it paid. It freaking paid. I tell you what. Come on. We're going to go ahead and run this thing back. Right? 4 my case again. 4-way battle. Can we do it again? Can we win $3,000 back to back? We're down that. We're down $500 to start off. We lost. I mean, unless we pull another $1,000 item miraculously, we've lost. This isn't even this guy's won a lot. No one else has hit. Oh! Oh my God! We did it again! We did it again! What? Wait, what? We just hit the same item. 0.1% chance and won 2 4-way battles in a row. That is insane. I couldn't have wrote a better story than that. That literally just happened back to back. The same item. Not this. That literally battle. We just hit the same. Did it again! Oh my God! We did it again! We just hit bro. Back to 3. We're gonna go in a row. Imagine we it's back, it's back, it's back. Can we do it? Come on, 3 times in a row. 3 times on my case last time, by the way. We could tie with him if we hit the PlayStation. Good, I'm not gonna lie. $6,800 inside of the cart, and we started with $2,500. Okay, here we go. Instead of doing a 4-way battle, we're gonna do a team battle. $700. We still have the 6,000 inside of the cart. That is just insane to think about. Let's do this team battle. First team battle of the video. $700. We lose this, we'll thank. We'll see what happens. That's a win, though. Oh, that's a win, but we lost money. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. We're gonna sell back. We have secured the $5,000 voucher, right? We have secured the double up. We started with 2,500. We secured the double up. But we have 1,800 to play with, okay? 1,800 to play with. So let's go ahead and get crazy. Let's do a little crazy, all right? Let's do 2 of these, 2 of the Taste the Rainbow.
Let's open it.
And let's go ahead and throw in my case as well, all right? Team battle yet again. We still have $1,000 to play with if we lose, but we're not gonna lose. We're gonna hit a Rolex. I'm calling it right now. Someone in this battle is about to hit a Rolex from the Taste the Rainbow. Anybody else? Okay, that's not my taste. That's just saving for the Rolex pull. It's saving for the Rolex pull. Come on, get a hit here. That's good. That's a good hit. Oh, I thought it was a steady, and I thought that was worth 700. I don't know the prices anymore, apparently. We do win, right? 280. We won, but we lost money again. It's been a crazy video so far. I don't want to try it. Oh, I kind of want to try it. Oh my God. Okay, we're not gonna do that just yet. Let's do the Lamborghini, alright? Do the Lamborghini team battle. Here we go. $800 team. Still have $1,300 inside the card. We've won 2 times in a row. Oh! And we win again! My teammate pulls a $5,000 jacket, and that's from my case. I literally have that in my case from getting that pull a while ago. Big freaking hit by my teammate, and that just paid so much money. I am now exchanging what we just won for $8,000. So we have now tripled up on our original deposit, and we're gonna do something crazy to end this off. It's not my biggest one ever, I don't think. I don't think it's my biggest case. I think I've done a 2,000, but this is gonna be damn near up there. Oh, I could almost do the millionaire. You know what? Do Kazlik V2. We gotta support my boy, all right? Kazlik V2. If we lose this, I say we just cash, bro. We're at 8,000. We're at 8,000. Let's do it. What an insane video, bro. What an insane video this has been. Can we pull off something even crazier? With the Kazlik V2, we would need to win 4 in a row. We went on such a good streak here as well. Come on. Here we go, here we go. $1,500 case. That's a pull. Is that enough? We did it again! My teammate does it again! That is $2,500 from $1,500. That's $1,000 profit. What are we at right now? We are at 10,000. My teammate does it again. Let's take out 9,000. I am down to keep doing this all day. Okay, let's do the biggest one we can do. Time and MF. Is that good? Oh God. You just paid me. The Lambo case went on to finish it. Kazlik.
Remember when we played Yoru in the LCQ? Yeah, I know, it seems to be all we talk about since it happened. But give us a break, there hasn't been much going on for us since then. But anyway, this crazy off-meta pick got us thinking about team compositions. What makes a good team comp? Is it different at the pro level from ranked? If so, why? And how should we think about team comps in ranked? To make sure we get that sweet RR, we sat down with Sentinel's 2 coaches, Kaplan and Drew Spark, to see if they have any answers. First off, let's get right to it. What makes a good team composition in Valorant?
There is a lot that goes into it. I think a really important starting point is making sure the comp has a clear direction, a clear idea, clear win condition. How is it going to grab rounds and have a game plan on each half? Does that game plan match how the map's asking you to play it? And finally, do you have a team that's capable of playing it? Do the agents and roles fit players and their comforts enough that you'll execute that game plan correctly?
That sounds simple enough. You want to have a selection of agents that can take advantage of features on a map, have a clear idea on how to win rounds, and make sure the actual players who will be using the agents are comfortable on them. For example, on a map like Fracture, where, as we discussed in our Why Icebox Sucks video, the map is asking for an execute-heavy attack side and a retake-heavy defensive side. This means agents like Breach, who can set up executes and retakes, Killjoy, whose ult can take over a site, especially B, and Raze, who can clear angles with her boombot and blast pack in for fast hits, will really shine. Also, you need to make sure your players actually know how to play these agents. You wouldn't want to put a world champion initiator on, say, Omen, would you? So while we're still talking about the basics, let's discuss the roles agents fill. You've got duelists, controllers, initiators, and sentinels. Does Riot do a good job of defining these roles, or do you have a different way of looking at it?
This is going to vary from every person you ask. To me, there's a clear separation within those roles. With duelists, there's dive duelists. These are duelists that can dive out of a choke point and create a lot of space suddenly. And then you've also got a more niche role, which is flash duelists. And then moving to sentinels, you've got sentinels who have the ability to cover flanks passively without needing to actually watch them. And then you've got agents like Deadlock and Sage, where their ability to stall a choke point is extremely powerful, but they bring a little less lurk ability on attack and a little less ability to watch flanks passively to make up for that. And then moving on to controllers, I would put Astra, Brim, and Omen in one category. They can fill the role of a singular controller in a comp. They usually will be able to provide smokes and deny vision, whereas I would put Viper and Harbor typically in a category where they need to be played with a second controller. And then initiators are the one role where I see 3 different roles. I think you've got info initiators, that would be Sova and Fade, they don't tend to have a lot of stopping power or stall on defense, and they don't tend to have a lot of execute power compared to very execute-heavy initiators, which I would categorize KO and Breach as. Another category that's been really popular this year in the meta is, I would call them mid-range initiators. They are a little more flexible. That would be Sky and Gecko. And that's because they have some flashes and some execute abilities, but they also have some ways to gain information while not quite as powerful information as Fade and Sova. So whenever you see single initiator comps, they tend to be pretty popular.
So the way that I like to think about roles is less about, initiator, duelist, etc., and more about, do they come to your site? How do you react? Think about those protocols when an attack asks questions on your side of the map. You're playing more on the back foot, whereas on attack, you could be proactive. So when I think about roles, I like to just simply put it down to a 1-to-5 system and think about who is going to be my number one person. The person that on attack is generally going to be going in first. That tends to be your duelist, all the way to number 5, which is typically the person who's going to be lurking the most, pulling up on the flank, or turning up to the site last. And then you can start to have some consistency with your compositions across your entire map.
One of the big things that often comes up when talking about team comps is the meta. When selecting agents in ranked, you'll often hear people say things like, "Oh, Viper is meta on this map, we need to have a Viper," or "Chamber isn't meta anymore, don't pick him." Just so we're all on the same page, let's define meta.
Usually a meta comp is either a core of agents or a full comp of 5 agents on a map that is just the meta because the pro scene has pretty much concluded that it is the strongest comp and most well-rounded. A lot of the time with these comps, they'll be able to play in a lot of different ways, or they'll exploit the map in a way that another comp can't, and you can consistently play them for a long time. And they're not very anti-stratable, meaning a pro team couldn't look at it and pick it apart and abuse it. Doesn't mean that it's always the best way to win one match, but yeah, meta comp is like a staple you'll see for a long period of time.
Now that we have an understanding of what the coaches mean when they say meta, let's look at an example.
When you look at the meta composition for Ascent, the Sova, the KO, the Omen, the Jet, and the Killjoy, I think the best starting off point is looking at what the map wants from you. The map wants you to play a little bit slower than usual. It's really hard for you just to start an attack and execute immediately, like say a fracture. So therefore you need to slow down a little bit. You need to actually win some bits of map control. And that's where the 2 initiators, Sova and KO, come in really handy, because you're able to use their rechargeable abilities to almost take parts of the map in intervals. And you can use the Omen with his rechargeable smokes to aid in taking these areas of the map or defending them, and you'll always be able to hang around and wait for your smoke to replenish and go for an extra. So typically the map plays a little bit slower, and that's why it favors a balanced comp such as the double initiator.
This is all well and good when talking about the pro scene, but 99% of the people who watch this video are never going to get near the pro level. So how should we think about team comps when it comes to rank?
So in competitive play, there's a lot of known quantities. It allows us to make a lot of informed decisions on how we want to go about our strategy and just our comp building in general. However, in ranked, that is not the case at all.
Something that involves a lot of defaulting, moving around slowly, gathering information, communicating and making complex decisions, having a reliable IGL, that is just not stuff you're going to get out of a ranked team that half of them might be tilted, they all just loaded in together. Who knows what you're getting. Because you're not going to execute coordinated and complex strategies, I believe that the player comfort becomes a lot more important. I think if you don't have any sentinel to watch some flanks, if you don't have a smokes player to cover some vision, you're going to run into trouble. But I would say other than those 2 things, it's really a wide open field. I think we've all been there where we lock in a bunch of agents and then there's this guy, should I play Reyna or should I play Sova? We don't have a Sova yet. And I always say play Reyna if you're comfortable on Reyna. If you're not comfortable on Sova, I don't want you on an agent you're not comfortable on. If we're all in a good mood and we're playing well, that's how we're going to win.
But the problem that I have at my rank is it comes back down to the consistency. And there's certain agents in the game where if you do not put out a high level of performance in the terms of fragging and sprays creation, then you're ultimately not really giving anything to your team. So here's an example. Let's say you've just been playing Jet and Reyna the entire time. Why not pick up Raze every now and then? Because at least with Raze, if you're not getting kills, you always have a nade, you have a boom bot for clearing. You can provide so much more consistent value to your team outside of getting those frags. And you still have the ability to use those satchels, get good with them, to enter into the site and create that space that's going to be really good for your team. So if you're thinking about some agents that you want to try, especially on defense, think about other agents that have stall, because you're going to have a great time feeding on these people that want to just run into your site and peek everything, and you're able just to play off your utility very effectively.
You know, it's interesting that they have different thoughts when it comes to ranked. Drew takes the more idealistic approach. You should widen your agent pool and play what will help your team, whereas Kaplan is more of a realist, saying, pick your comfort pick if that means you're going to hit your shots and frag out. If you're trying to get better at the game and lock down that RR, the best method is to do both. Have your comfort picks, but in those situations where you're too slow on the draw and those insta-lockers steal jet from you, maybe think about the agents that are available and the roles that Kaplan broke down. Try out an agent that would synergize with your team well and put in the work of learning something new. After all, Zekin plays everyone and has climbed his way to number 1 time and time again by filling for his team. And remember, he started in silver.
That's pretty much how I got into it. I just 5Q'd with my friends at the time and played all day. I think I placed silver 1 at the start. It was silver 1 or silver 2, and I just played with my friends at the time. And that's how I really got into it.
You played silver 1 in the start when you first started. Yeah. That's
Alright guys, welcome back to another CSGO roll video. Today, I have to tell you guys about the strat that I found, okay? When I show you my stash, it's like double what it was before. We have 29,000 coins in here, okay? And I kid you not, I've been gambling off camera for about 2-3 hours now. The Roulette King thing is not a joke. I am the Roulette King, okay? I go in 500. If I lose, I double it. But I only wait until there's 4 of the same color in a row. Lose, lose, win. Lose, win, win, win. Lose, lose. Win 4,000. Win, win, win. Lose, win, lose, win, 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 win. Okay, I lost a lot right here. Then I go in 4K, win it back. Lose, lose on green, win again. Just look, just look. Anyways, yeah, we did roulette. We did this strategy. I promise you, it works, guys. So there's probably going to be some clips, like some random clips that I just recorded of me doing the strategy in this video. But we do want to do some case battles today because I know you guys like those. But guys, just look. 29,000 in the stash, 500 in the balance, and we can withdraw the Dream Knife. Okay, the Dream Knife is always the Karambit Sapphire, which we are well above. I know this one's stat track, but even a normal one, we can afford. Okay, at this point, we're going for the Sapphire Butterfly Knife, and we are not far off. I was doing some half times with our editor. That actually might make this video too. I was Mitch, me and him were doing half times, and let's just say, I mean, you guys will see what happened. Wait, dude. Mitch says he wants to do 2v2 with me on halftime. You ready? We're gonna do private battle. Okay, Mitch is in, dude. The freaking editor content creator duo. Let's go, dude. We pull awesome mobs here. Right? Oh my god, if we pull something crazy for Mitch, this is insane. Here we go. Oh, I think do we win? We won. I. We doubled it. Run it back. I messaged him, run it back. He said he's scared, so we're up. Trust me. Oh,
that duo. Transforming Mitch into a gambler.
Hey, I mean, what's he gonna do if he's editing my videos every day? All right. It's only, dude. Please, I need a hit for him. I need to make him happy. Yep, double hit.
Easy.
Yup, easy. Yup. I mean, that's all right. The 20 bucks is not worth my heart, he says. One more. Ian Mitch, man. Here we go. Bro, we got to hit like a knife. Oh, my God. Oh. Do not fail us with this one, because if you do, it's going to be really embarrassing. Dude, you up, bro. Come on. Oh, thought we hit that. Oh, shit, dude. That's stat track kill confirmed. We both hit. They don't hit. It's fine. Get the hell. Oh my god. Well, doing too good on here. More, dude. Like, look. Yeah. As soon as Mitch leaves, bro.
Our goal is to...
Dude, hit that. Oh, I thought we hit. Oh, shoot. They... Yo! Like, right?
Oh,
Isn't that the strat? We have to, like, swap now? Alright, it's too late. Let's go to case battles. We'll do 2v2s again, but this time we gotta do crazy mode, and if it doesn't hit, then we go back to regular. We just keep going back and forth until it hits. Alright. Wait, we want crazy mode, right? Good. They both hit. That's good. We're losing. It's fine. We hit something. That's more money for us, right? More money for us. And we sand dune. And they both hit. Awesome. Dude, look. Okay, we stand crazy mode. Oh, wait. I forgot. It's 3. Don't hit a knife. We win that, right? Yes! Good. Alright, we're back. Come on. Crazy mode, man. Crazy mode. Yup. Gloves. Nah. They've got... No way.
Oh my god.
Oh, they trolled. Alright, we're betting on ourselves here. We're gonna hit. And if we don't hit, we just go back to... Oh, shit, dude. Maybe. They're gonna catch us in the curse unless we're being back and forth.
Clips is taking your money.
No, he doesn't... Oh,
At least we get something.
Double hit.
Please. Go confirm.
Get wrecked. We hit that. We hit that, right?
Maybe we should have started on crazy time.
Huh. Works, dude. I'm telling you. I'm not registering how much that is.
Ow.
Oh, you're trolling. You're trolling,
crazy
bro.
mode.
That is. This is the most.
Ow.
Oh, you're trolling. You're trolling,
crazy
bro.
Mode, crazy mode.
No, we lost, dude. We literally lost. Oh my god. Come on. This one's it. This is it. Oh my god. No, we hit it! We hit it! No way! No, wait. Oh my god. Bro. Give me a drop. Oh,
okay.
That's a... We won. Holy
We
shit.
won.
Holy
We won.
shit, Bambi.
We
Holy
won.
shit.
Oh my
Holy
god, wait, dude, we're there. We're literally there.
We made it. I think we just completed it. Juicy, we love the vids, bro.
We love the vids, bro.
Love them. We fucking love them.
And wait, it's triple.
Oh my god, wait, dude. Okay, we're so close. We are so close. Watch, man. Watch.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, we almost both won. We hit that. That's us. Okay, I think we are.
2v2.
No. Oh shit, that guy's in.
Miss, we hit and we win.
We hit that. Oh
we
shit.
lost.
We should have gone crazy. We should have swapped it, right? That's
Nah.
Nah, bro. We should have swapped it, dog. We hit a knife.
Yep.
Think so?
Coming. Here it is.
Damn, bro. They're ahead. They're fat ahead. We do need a knife here to win it. Crazy mode wouldn't even win this, so just give me a knife. We don't hit that, dog. Damn! No, bro. We don't. Drop some lucky charms in the chat. Lucky charms, give me the worst item in the game. Thank you. And they got a case. Look at that. They all pulled. This is the one. This is the one. Drop some lucky charms. I hope you guys get some good luck here. Oh, I don't really want the Asuma, but I'll take it. That's not that good, right? Oh, shit.
Oh.
That's really good. That's better than both of theirs. They both have to hit, dude. I can't hit. They both hit. We won!
You won. You just won.
No, we lost! These knives are so cheap! How did we... Dude, that was so much. That's 1,400 we could have just won, bro. Alright, we just go 500 black, right? It's a triple.
Right now?
I don't know. This is like off books, bro. This is off books.
This is off books.
I did it. We hit it though, right? We hit that. Yep. Thank
Yeah,
you.
we hit
Got my
that.
money back. That's fine. I got removed from the chat by Dylan. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's Dylan for you. Well, they're all winning, bro. They're all winning. So let me just hold on. I'll just finish this one out for the boys here. Looks like they have approximately. If I hit here and they don't hit, then we win. We lost. Oh my god, they almost hit it and then slammed it. Okay, yeah, we lost. Crazy mode would have hit. We shouldn't have bet on ourselves. I say we do something crazy here. I'm feeling expensive, aren't you?
This is a big battle
It's
here.
$800, but I mean, today's a high roller video. We did have our most expensive battle of all time.
We did.
We're gonna be recruiting. We're gonna be recording a lot here, okay? Because I honestly don't know how this video is gonna be. There's so much random stuff that could be here. Oh my god, dude! I want to see a nice pull. Okay, we have not pulled the knife from halftime except the M9 bayonet, which is 0.1%.
There it is.
Chance. Yep, almost. Oh, we're in the lead here. Yo, PvP bot 11, please don't make me do all the hard work here, because you're kind of pissing me off already. Alright, bro, we're up. Can I hit that? Desert Hydra freaking Crimson
Dude,
Wedge
look
right
at
there.
all of them.
No, you think it's telling us something?
Wait, coming? It's on the way.
For me, not for anyone else. Damn, these guys are hitting.
Broke
I was actually
your
contemplating
stuff.
crazy mode. I was contemplating crazy mode. That didn't hit, right, guys?
No.
We are currently would be winning in crazy mode here.
Yeah,
We're in a
but
better
you-
position here.
Bro, it's so hard to tell right now.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Because I think it's looking pretty obvious here.
Excuse me? Don't drown yourself.
Yeah. Something sort of day, bro. Why are they all hitting, man? We hit stat track. We're down by about 400 buckaroos here.
So you just need a knife, is what you're
Like,
saying.
that next knife would have been good, but no. Hey, you never know. It could happen. Could happen. Okay, well he's hitting too. So we're down by about 400 here. Not as much as it was before, but it's fine.
Morning.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, that would save everything. That would be
Why does
it.
it not go over?
I don't know. It's like trolling, honestly. Here we go. Nope, not hitting that. That would be good though. It's like a few hundred. We're down by $460 with 5 cases to go. We don't get those gloves either.
I saw wood.
That's crazy. Wow. That is crazy. That's real crazy mode.
It's crazy.
Dang,
It's
bro.
a lot of money.
Oh my god. They're trolling. They're not really about it. down by 400. Just one knife and we win. One knife, just one knife.
Literally.
Just one knife.
Tell me, is it that hard?
Like we're not asking for a lot here. Just 370, 370, bro, 370. Oh my god, that's so much. No. Holy shit. They controlled. Dang. Crazy mode would have won us by $1 as well. 3.5k, bro. Oh my god. It's it, guys. It's the strat. It's literally the strat. We're gonna make our money back really quick that we just lost. Oh no! Wait, do I do 2k on red? It's literally my strat. I meant red. I meant red. Oh no. Oh no.
It's okay. It's a sign that.
Oh my god! Now we hit red. Now we hit red.
2k.
No.
No. You're literally crazy. Bro, you're not. You're gonna win.
Red. Oh, you're
Dude, are you serious? No. You can't afford to lose this, fam.
I can't look.
We lost, dude. Just gotta keep doubling.
God.
Oh no.
No,
it's
dude.
gonna have to be red. No, it's green.
Oh god! Bye.
No. Oh. Colby.
Stay alive.
There is no problem a meteor can't solve. Behold. Repetition is the path to mastery. Tricky but possible. Don't stand in the fire to harm or to heal. What shall it be? Repetition is the path to mastery. Behold. Farewell.
Put it there.
Ready for the wild? Deadly choice. Strike true. Hunter or hunted? Help yourself.
Welcome back, brothers. We are back and collected. You got 4 per own code. So I went ahead and told me in this we put max commission on it. We will be opening all of these cases in the battles, and we will also reward not reward this a lot of succeed have to do the case. Yeah, we have to do it like this. Have to do it like this. Like the new option servers. Come on, let's see if we get some. Cavalry, 68 gravity. Some flop. Give us some flops. Okay. Yeah, 500 yen battle price. Your cases not the best. Not the best. Your cases on having it's a win, no? It's a win. That's the worst item you can pull on the world. Whoever created the not great. Not great. Alright, the site is back. Let's continue doing the GK68. The last battle was just like 100 yens. No banger pulls. No bangle pools. Let's see. We did all those things. Let's do the potato case. GK68 for the win. 20% or nothing case. GK68 banger case. GK68 100%. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. We do want 100%. Let's see what else. GK68 cool case. Happy. So this is for now 557. Come on. Give us the big juice. This is community cases. Potato case, base hardened, okay, no pools here, come on, warm up those, give us some banger pools, Mr. Community. Okay, this looks like a volatile case, go down, how much is that? Case 782, nice, it has a chance of being the most lucky case. We'll see. A lot more battles to go, more cases, but we'll see, come on. GK68 banger case, anyone war? Yes, anyone war? Okay, that's a 9 for them. 9. 100% profit. That's can we get the save, go down? No, last case. The last case. Last case is gonna save us. This is gonna pay fast. I think it's gonna be paying really. I'm not sure. If I refresh, I don't really want the site refreshing. So we'll see, I guess. I'll just GK68 4 case. Absolutely sexy GK68, obviously big full GK68. Sure, this one pops open. Give us some juice. Okay. Oh, don't go down. That's a huge problem we have here. That's a huge problem. Maybe we should have done crazy mode only, not gonna lie. Oh, how much is that? Wait, how much is that? 2.1k, okay, dude, this GK68 win case, who created this case? This may be the winner case, we'll find out soon. Okay, Sexy GK68, indeed, this may be the winner case, we'll find out soon. Okay, Sexy GK68, indeed, 540, nice. Damn, you guys know how to make your cases, Big Cool GK68. Okay, Snake Hammer, why would you put this item in? Come on, who likes Hammer? Okay, GK68 case, they probably can't even make the comeback. Okay, didn't pay them. He didn't really pay. The last few cases didn't pay, but that's a Reason Gaming Katowice, dude. That paid 1.9k. Whoever made the case, you're a banger, dude. You're a banger. Okay, let me refresh what's my balance. 4.9k we are at. Okay, we are in like 600 gem profit right now. Imagine we won the last one as well. We would be popping off. Okay, next case. Okay, we did this cases already. We did this one. Did this one as well. I did those. I did that. GK68 banger case, I don't remember. GK68 Kogar, I don't remember. I did that. Brother GK68, yes, this one is the new one. We'll do a bigger case at the end. Go for those. Fate Fun from GK68. Big Baller GK68. Okay, let's go with this one. How big is the battle? 780. Come on. It's nice. You have to select those cases and find out the total worth of the battle at the end. Total cost. Okay, P90. Come on. GK68 pop. Now give us the Karambit or case hardened. Okay, that's 800. Okay, that could have been like 2,000, maybe even more, and we would have a huge problem. But now we have a comeback potential. Give me an AK, go down. No, if you went down including ours, 1.4k. Yo, your cases are paying. But for the wrong team. Your cases are paying for the wrong team, guys. Wrong team, man. Should be paying on the left. Fate Farm case. Okay, we can make comeback here. So. Okay, we got clapped here, guys. This paid so fast. This paid so fast. There is no way we can make a comeback here. There is absolutely no way. And if I did crazy mode only, I would have been rich. That's paying so fast. Best cases, dude. Just go into community cases, search for GK68 cases, and print the money, dude. Just print the money. Okay, I did that one already, I believe. Or not. Okay, we can do it again. Maybe. I'm not sure if we did it or not. GK68 dream. Knife for GK68 barrels. Okay, let's go with this. Come on. We have to win this one. We should be around 4k right now. Let's see what happens. Lucky GK68. dude, Clashy Senior needs to pull. Last battle he pulled 4k gems. Can Clashy Bot start pulling? Can Clashy Bot start pulling like that, dude? No way, dude. What's going on with the Clashy Senior? This Clashy Senior just keeps on pulling some crazy items. Come on. We need some luck on the Clashy Bot, dude. On Clashy Bot, come on. Come on, we got some bigger cases coming, I believe. Come on. GK68 green, go down, okay, decent, 128. Grinding, we are down like 900 gems. We need a double knife through here. We need a double knife. How much is that? 1,000 gems, okay, nice. We are in the lead, Yo, guys, you know how to make it. GK68 bear case, come on, give us a Karam. Oh, wait, stop. No way, dude, last case, and it went down and we lost. It went down. Are you still? These are paying so fat and we keep losing. We're down to 3.2k. Dude, come on, no way. Move the old fade. Why did it have to go down? Why? Come on. GK68 Knife Factory, Blue GK68, GKM game, come on, give us a comeback, guys. I hope your cases are gonna give us a comeback. Dude, we should have done crazy mode only, man. Crazy mode only, dude. We did crazy mode only. We would have been rich. Crazy mode only, we would have been rich. Come on. Let's see if this case is complete. Blue GK68. Come on. We need some juice. How much is that? 420? It's not paying. Come on. Last case. GK68 end game. 560 gem case. Come on. Okay, we got clap heals. Wow. Come on. We lost so many battles in a row. That's a huge problem. We are down to 2.2k here. I feel like we should go for a crazy mode 3-way. We should go for a crazy mode 3-way and if we lose it, go 9-7. If we lose this one, we have to go all in 3 ways. Honestly, come on. We have been doing those Flashy Seniors and Flashy Juniors popping up like crazy. Heal my bots. Stop. No way, this Flashy Junior, Flashy Senior just absolutely clapping us. You're just getting clapped so hard. Where are our tickets, pal? Come on. Nope. It's so toxic as well, like, my top item goes down and there it comes out. Like, how do I miss? Like,
before the video starts, we are currently running a 4,000 US dollar giveaway. All you need to do is deposit money with my code Shire on Cisco Roll. The top 3 depositors will get huge prizes and I will raffle 3 times 250 coins among all entries. So there are huge prizes for everyone. Thank you. Back 10. We go with it. Okay, it's something. We get our money back. Nice. Let's run it back. Oh. Please, man, pull something, bro. Wow, that's ass, bro. That's really ass. Perfect. Bad try. Bro, 8. Man. Close enough. Crazy yet, but what is this, man? 44 coins currently. We hit? Yes! It's not enough, right? To the last case and still it's not paying. Okay, let's run a few polys back, man. Poly case, bro, save us. Poly case, bro. Nah, that's a bait, bro. Fucking bait, man. Come on. Bro, nothing again. Please, man. Yeah? Yeah, bro. Okay. Alright. 5.7k and 1.3. Nice, man. Go over? Nah. Still, it's good. Come on. Can we pull, bro? Okay, they get a Wise Gloves. Okay. Nice win, man. 4.5k. We are in profit, man. 11.2k. Quickly, before this video does continue, If you want some free cases, go over to rewards and type in Shire and hit claim to get free cases. If you deposit money on roll, head over to deposit and use my code Shire and hit apply. This would really mean the world to me because it supports me and allows me to make this video possible for you guys. And now enjoy the rest of the video. Crazy mode. Come on, man. Like our bot hit, you won. Now we do crazy mode and win again. Come on. Decent pulls all over. Okay. They're in the lead, so that's fine. They could pull some more. So at one day, man, one day, I really want to hit like these sticker items. Both hit the lore. Double lore pull. No, it lost back. Never did. Nice hit, man. Give me a fucking nice hit, please. Oak over? No. Jesus. Dude, my heart. Oh, come on. Every time we pulls, we get about even. Oh, they pull a sapphire, bro. Dragon. And we hit. Nice. Smokes. Okay, bro. Okay. And we hit. Nice. 2.3. They feed. Oh, I already made profit. Oh? No, bro. Okay. And a little root profit. We take this. But we take this every day of the week, man. Come on.
You planning something?
Crazy mode politics.
He's melting.
And that's the time our boss hits. And we do crazy mode, man. Fine. We can come back easily in this case, though. But it has to pay now, man. Last case.
Yes.
With hits, but that's not enough. Alright.
My back hurts.
Hello, dear.
It's not really good for a 400 coin case, though.
Excuse
I mean,
the
I had
smell.
this case pay hella, bro. Like, second top item and stuff. Second case, no pulls, man. We need something now.
Okay. Alright.
Oh, but that's nothing.
That's it.
We lose it as well, but that paid
Need
ass,
something
bro.
cut?
Straight ass. Okay, let's
Got
go
it.
with this 1.1k bet.
Bye.
And yeah, let's hope that we can get some wins.
Only the highest
First
quality.
case. How much? 600. Can come back.
Certainly.
Ruby? Nice. Let's fucking go.
Stay civilized.
Let's fucking go, bro. My tickets are good today. I feel that we could win something, man. We can win big. A leash sticker, 200 coins. We take that. Compound, bro. This case can pay, man. And our boss pulls 1.10k. Sick. We are looking good. Last case. How much?
Let me guess. You need to fix that.
Bro, we triple our money just like that.
Let's see.
Nice. Okay, let's see if it can pay like second time for us. Like 600, we take that. From 100 coin case, that's really big, man. No ruby this time, but come on. And come, please, come on. Ruby? Oh, we see it, but that's not us, but at least we get. But I hate it, you know? Sometimes it get no pulls. Second lost. Come on, man. This case. We get fucked. We don't even win, man. Half win. Oh no. You are real. You could hit it. Didn't. Okay. Let's see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Stop playing League if you don't have Professor yet. Yes, it makes
On March 7th, 1971, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman informally declared Bangladesh's independence from what was then known as West Pakistan. Despite calling for a peaceful resolution, these words ignited an unimaginably violent conflict in which an estimated 3 million Bangladeshis were systematically exterminated in a gruesome genocide, the scale of which had not been witnessed since the atrocities of the Second World War. By the end of the conflict, Bangladesh emerged as the newest country in the world, but it also became the poorest. Every bridge, every factory, and every farm, the timing of which could hardly have come at a worse time. Just 4 months prior, Bangladesh was hammered with the most destructive tropical cyclone in recorded history, which flooded a fifth of the entire country and claimed the lives of 500,000 people. In the aftermath, a special team of inspectors from the World Bank noted that some of the cities looked like the morning after a nuclear attack. At the dawn of its independence, Bangladesh was already a shattered nation, with an average life expectancy of 26 years and a child mortality rate that exceeded 37%. On average, individuals subsisted on less than 33 cents a day, while a fifth of the population lived on less than 4. Yet even more daunting was the reality that Bangladesh, deprived of considerable natural resources, habitually subjected to catastrophic natural disasters, and haunted by perpetual and often violent political instability, seemed devoid of a clear path toward making things better. It was a widespread perception that Bangladesh was destined to be forever synonymous with poverty and suffering, earning it the unflattering label as an international basket case. But astonishingly, against all conceivable odds, the past 3 decades have seen the country achieve perhaps the most significant advancement in quality of life indicators of any place in the world ever. Life expectancy has soared by 180%, while fatalities from tropical cyclones have been reduced by a staggering 100-fold. Poverty rates have dived from 80% to less than 19%, while the child mortality rate has been cut by 92%. Its economy has emerged as one of the fastest growing in the world, with its GDP per capita once 50% less than Pakistan's, now almost 50% higher. And in 2019, it overtook even India, while harboring aspirations of reaching high-income status by 2041. But how can a nation with all the odds stacked against it improve at such a blistering pace? Is this truly another economic miracle or a mirage that will painfully wither away?
Hello and welcome to another Albion Online Dev Talk. In this video, I want to talk about our concept for legendary items, an idea I introduced several months ago and which is now taking shape as development continues. The goal for legendary items is to add something to Albion that up until now has been missing from a truly magical fantasy world. Unique, one-of-a-kind items that cannot be mass-produced and have a history of their own. In true Albion style, we don't want these items to be pre-designed. Instead, we want their creation to be driven by you, the players. Our vision for these items is that they are very rare, so that each one truly feels like a significant addition to the world of Albion. We realize that making them this rare would mean few players ever get their hands on such an item. So we decided to make the creation of legendary items a two-stage process. First, you need to awaken an item before you can eventually turn it into a legendary. The first awakened items players will be able to create will be awakened weapons, which will arrive in Albion's next content update. Awakening a weapon always requires a pristine, also known as a 0.4 enchanted weapon, as a foundation, so whilst these may not be extremely rare, they will still be relatively rare. Once awakened, a weapon can earn attunement points from being used in PvE, and these attunement points can be used to roll for additional or improved magical traits on the weapon. Each modification adds strain on the awakened weapon, however, and strain increases the cost of further modifications. In this way, players are able to create weapons with a unique combination of traits, but the increasing strain makes it difficult to simply pick and choose their favorite traits, which encourages a greater variety of trait combinations. As the weapon gains more powerful traits, its legendary rating increases. The legendary rating determines how brightly an awakened weapon glows, but it also has another unique effect. The higher the rating, the higher the chance for the item to be lost instead of destroyed on death. An item that is lost enters the black market drop pool and can return to the game at a later time as loot, with the original creator's name still attached to it. The item can then continue to earn additional attunement, and each contributor has a chance to write their name into its history. Some items may even reach a point where they are never truly destroyed on death and will always eventually return to the world of Albion. Since these weapons can accumulate a fair amount of additional power compared to regular items, we're taking some steps to ensure game balance. These weapons will not benefit from their powers in match-made non-full loot content, such as Arena and Crystal League, but we will allow them in most PvP content which carries a risk of loss, so you'll have a chance to loot them off your enemies. As mentioned in the introduction, awakened items are only the first step in the process of creating legendary items. In a later content update, we're planning to include the upgrade process to truly legendary items, which will require incredibly rare resources to create really unique and powerful items which everyone in the game will hear about. I hope you enjoyed this look at our plans for awakened and legendary items, and
Before we delve into understanding the story of Bangladesh, we need to talk about something that affects each and every one of us. Have you ever wondered why you've been receiving an uptick in spam calls or emails and seeing ads popping up that are a little more than coincidental? Well, it's unfortunately because your data is being profited on. But this is only the tip of the iceberg. Data breaches and shadow profiles are giving complete strangers access to your most sensitive information, ranging from your home address, IP information, employment history, and even your social security number. But with the help of the sponsor of this video, Incogni, you can stay protected in an ever more dangerous digital landscape. Incogni reaches out to data brokers on your behalf, requesting your personal data be removed, and deals with any objections from their side in a completely automated process. So sign up right now using my link in the description, or use code CASUALSCHOLAR at checkout for 60% off, and finally get your personal information protected. As Sheikh Mujibur Rahman returned home to his shattered nation in early 1972, having spent the duration of the Liberation War as a political prisoner, he faced a seemingly insurmountable task. As leader of the Awami League, the primary political force behind the independence movement, it was his responsibility as prime minister to fix Bangladesh. This entailed rapidly restoring law and order, constructing the nation's political institutions and infrastructure from the ground up, and formulating a cohesive plan for swift economic development. Yet he was to accomplish all of this with virtually non-existent resources. Adding to the complexity, the coalition force that had united against Pakistan during the war rapidly fragmented into various factions, each scrambling for control over economic assets and political power. In response to this escalating political instability, Mujibur and the AL found themselves prioritizing party loyalty over merit when appointing officials, a strategy aimed at safeguarding their precarious grip on power. Coupled with the grim reality that many of those who possessed the qualifications and expertise to work in government had been systematically eliminated during the war, the initial government grappled with a severely impaired capacity to devise and implement effective developmental policies. Nevertheless, the first issue to resolve involved determining the fate of properties and assets once owned by the former Pakistani elites. This was particularly important given that after 24 years of economic subjugation, these elites owned the vast majority of industries and businesses within the country. Seeing this as an opportunity to strengthen the power of the state, the government swiftly nationalized over 700 of these firms. Most of these were handed over to loyalists and party supporters, many of whom lacked prior industry-specific experience or knowledge. This move set the government on a course toward a socialist economic system, eventually resulting in state ownership of all banking and insurance sectors and a stunning 92% of industries across the board. The remnants of the private sector found themselves burdened with heavy regulations and import restrictions, even being subjected to profit caps. Meanwhile, foreign investment was outlawed unless partnered with the government. It didn't take long for the harsh reality to set in. This had been a sense of uncertainty and stagnation began to grow, ultimately triggering 21 new coup attempts, the last of which successfully took out Zia. Bangladesh was once again thrust into political chaos. After a final bloodless military coup, Army Chief of Staff Hussein Mohammad Ershad took control of the country in 1983. In his effort to avoid ending up like Zia, Ershad solidified his power through an increase in authoritarian measures. He outlawed unions and rival political parties, disbanded the constitution, and reinstated martial law. Despite his promises to transition the country into a democracy, he consistently deferred elections and manipulated referendums to his advantage. However, Ershad reignited the economic reform process that had begun under Zia. The rest of the Mujibur-era restrictions on the private sector were eliminated. A much larger portion of the state-owned industries were transitioned into private ownership, and businesses were now allowed to compete in banking, insurance, and other financial sectors. Yet the largest endeavor was a coordinated effort to stimulate export-oriented economic growth, inspired by the then recent successes of Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan. This was initiated with the establishment of an export processing zone in the country's southeast. Within this 450-acre zone, companies are allowed to import machinery, equipment, and manufacturing materials tax-free, so long as they are strictly used in the production of goods for export. This was complemented with the introduction of back-to-back letters of credit, which essentially is a financial tool used to decrease the risk for foreign companies selling machinery and equipment to Bangladeshi business owners, something that had previously plagued industrial expansion. Yet strangely, for all these expansive economic reforms, the most important development that occurred under the Ershad government was what it decided not to do. Ever since Bangladesh emerged as one of the poorest and least developed countries on Earth, it became a magnet for non-government organizations or NGOs, many of which were homegrown in the aftermath of the Independence War. While there was government cooperation with these NGOs prior, Ershad expressed a profound level of openness with them, enabling them to provide everything from educational and financial services to healthcare and family planning. This, however, is unusual. Typically, countries suffering from political instability, and especially those headed by military regimes, are reluctant to let NGOs take over such basic services because traditionally these services are tools used by the government to ensure public support. Allowing non-state actors to take over is often feared to weaken the government's legitimacy and thus threatens the power of those in charge. Yet Bangladesh's government at the time was just too weak to provide all necessary services, and any attempt to raise taxes was seen as a more politically costly maneuver. Therefore, Ershad allowed NGOs to operate untethered, and soon after, Bangladesh became a so-called laboratory for new experimental poverty-reducing initiatives, and two NGOs in particular would change the nation forever. In 1976, university economics professor Muhammad Yunus closely observed the abject poverty experienced in the small village of Jobra near his home. In his studies, he found that one of the biggest hurdles that people faced in the community was a lack of access to money to which they could use to improve their productive capabilities. But the nation's financial sector was weak, and banks either refused to give the poor small loans or exploited them with outrageous interest rates. After experimenting with different methods of loaning his own money, Yunus pioneered the modern idea of microcredit. Poor rural residents were asked to form groups of 5 and were each given tiny loans without the need for collateral. They were then guided to use the loans to buy productive assets like cattle, improved farming equipment, or to start small businesses. Meanwhile, group members were responsible for supporting each other during repayment difficulties, as any default by an individual jeopardized the entire group's access to future credit. This simple method had stunning efficiency, with 97% of loans being fully paid back. By the early 1980s, this system had gone nationwide, with Yunus founding the NGO Grameen Bank in collaboration with the Ershad government and utilizing international donor capital. While there were other external factors at play, in areas where Grameen Bank became operational, the rate of extreme poverty reduced from 75% to 48%. And over a few decades, borrowers saw their incomes rise 43% higher than those that did not participate. Another NGO, the Bangladesh Rural Advancement Committee, known by its acronym BRAC, was founded by Bangladesh-born Shell oil executive Fazil Hassan Abed, who left his position in the UK to help those in need. BRAC got its roots building 14,000 homes for refugees and establishing desperately needed medical centers following the war. Its initial success saw it quickly expand to various other avenues for alleviating poverty. In response to diarrhea being the top cause of child mortality in the late 70s, BRAC trained members to teach mothers to prepare oral rehydration solutions. Over a decade, they reached 12 million homes across 75,000 villages, reducing diarrhea-related child deaths by 90%. BRAC also became a key player in the distribution of microcredit, aimed specifically at impoverished women who faced extreme cultural discrimination in the country. In their efforts, they found that by giving the female heads of households access to money, a far greater percentage of that money was spent on improving the education and health of children. This program also helped pave the way for greater acceptance of women in the economy. which would have a huge positive implication later on. Meanwhile, BRAC, other NGOs, and the government spearheaded an extensive family planning campaign to curtail the soaring birth rates, bringing it down from nearly 7 births per woman in the 70s to just 2 today. Through further efforts in establishing everything from primary schools, medical clinics, and hospitals, NGOs have drastically improved productivity, safety, health, and education among the country's poorest. And this progress can be largely attributed to the substantial growth of NGOs during the Ershad administration. Yet, by the year 1990, Ershad's grip on power was starting to wane as he continued to pass controversial legislation and rigged elections to his advantage. Mass, broad-based demonstrations, strikes, and protests started to appear regularly, while the heads of the 2 major parties, the BNP and AL, started to provide tangible democratic alternatives to the current system. By November, the protests had become so large and disruptive that they were able to successfully persuade the military to withdraw its backing from Ershad, subsequently forcing him to step down from power on December 6, 1990. Bangladesh was now to transition into a functioning parliamentary democracy, or at least was hoped to. Under the oversight of a neutral caretaker government, a generally perceived free and fair election placed the BNP into a slight majority with Khalida Zia, General Zia's widow, as prime minister. Under BNP leadership, Bangladesh continued its trend of economic liberalization. This involved incentivizing foreign investors by allowing them to fully own industrial firms. In tandem, restrictions on currency exchange were removed, and labor laws underwent simplification to make hiring easier. Meanwhile, 7 new export processing zones were opened, in the hopes of finally spurring on sustained export-oriented growth. But with no significant natural resources, an unskilled workforce, and limited capital for investment, what exactly do you export? Drawing inspiration from the rapid development of Asian economies like Korea, China, and Vietnam, Bangladesh identified garments as the shared starting point for their success. By the 1990s, conditions were ripe for Bangladesh to continue this trend, a process that had actually begun decades earlier. A mere 2 years after Bangladesh's independence, developed nations began protecting their own garment industries, which were facing stiff competition due to the influx of cheap imports from Asia. To remedy this, they created the multi-fiber arrangement, which established stringent import quotas on each of the major garment-producing countries. Yet this inadvertently provided an opportunity for Bangladesh. Manufacturers hampered by these quotas discovered a loophole. They could bypass the restrictions by setting up factories in countries lacking substantial garment industries already. South Korean corporation Daewoo seized this opportunity, partnering with Daesh Ltd to create a production base in Bangladesh. This move was further incentivized by Bangladesh's status as a least developed country, granting it preferential duty-free trade with developed markets. In the late 1970s, Daesh dispatched 130 employees to South Korea to undergo an 8-month intensive training course covering sewing techniques, factory management, and international marketing. However, these plans backfired when almost all trained employees left to establish their own garment businesses. Despite this, the industry in Bangladesh was initially slow to grow, as restrictive business conditions and economic policies stifled rapid expansion. However, with the reforms under Zia and then Ershad, and the use of back-to-back letters of credit and the creation and expansion of economic processing zones, garment exports began to rise by the late 1980s. But then, with the relative stability under a new democratic system, combined with other competing nations maturing to more complex industries, Bangladesh was now the new ideal location for garment manufacturing. In Bangladesh, it was just cheaper to rent warehouses, cheaper to employ labor as its wages were among the lowest in the world, and coupled with its massive population, it was just easier to find endless pools of workers to fill new factories. As a result, the garment industry started booming dramatically, and importantly, it was hiring mainly poor women, composing some 90% of the industry's workforce, which not only boosted overall employment, but also specifically increased poor family incomes. Between 1990 and 2021, the value the industry generated skyrocketed from $640 million to over $34.2 billion, accounting for 81% of the nation's exports and making Bangladesh home to the second largest garment industry in the world, only trailing behind China. This crucially started bringing in foreign currency, which was supercharged by another simultaneous development. Following increased economic globalization in the 80s and 90s, the international demand for labor increased significantly, and this gave opportunities for Bangladeshi workers to find employment in other countries and sending the money back home to their families. While these workers went to a variety of different countries, most went to Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and other Gulf states. The total revenue they sent back grew from $778 million in 1990 to $10.8 billion in 2010. The combined revenue from garment exports and migrant labor turned Bangladesh's historic trade deficit to a surplus, decreased the nation's dependence on foreign aid, and allowed the government to invest more heavily in education, energy projects, and transportation infrastructure, including the Bangabandhu and Padma bridges, which finally connected all the major sections of the country. Along with the continued work of NGOs, this generated a stunning positive economic feedback loop. From 1990 to 2020, the economy averaged a GDP growth rate of 5.6%, making it one of the fastest growing economies in the world and allowing it to surpass both Pakistan and India in GDP per capita. Bangladesh today looks almost nothing like it did when it gained independence. Nearly every significant indicator of quality of life has drastically improved. From child mortality, life expectancy, GDP per capita, poverty rates, educational enrollment, and literacy rates, what has happened in Bangladesh in the last 50 years is nothing short of a miracle. And this miracle does not appear to be slowing. While the pandemic and geopolitical conflicts temporarily set the nation back, it is already bouncing back and is projected to return to rapid growth. Meanwhile, the previous efforts to decrease fertility rates means Bangladesh is now currently benefiting from a demographic dividend, in which today more than 50% of the population is working. And as the government plans to continue investing in human capital and infrastructure, Bangladesh seems poised to continue bringing millions out of poverty and achieve its plans of becoming.
6 days ago, Russia's Vladimir Putin sought to shake the very foundations of the free world.
These sanctions will take a heavy toll on the Russian economy and on the Kremlin.
This morning, major American companies pulling business out of Russia.
Suddenly, an exodus across Russia's borders.
Essentially, all these financial measures send the Russian economy into reverse just about immediately.
Over a year ago, Putin launched the largest European land war since World War II. Despite his inability to secure a quick victory, and despite Russia being slapped with the most comprehensive sanctions imposed on a major power in nearly a century, the Russian economy has defied all odds and exceeded even the most optimistic predictions. While the rest of the world expected Russia to be crippled, the economy only shrunk by a measly 2.1%. Even more shockingly, it is expected to return to growth this year, and could even outpace the United Kingdom and Germany. Inflation did increase, but it wasn't as dramatic compared to the European Union when taking into account historical trends. Meanwhile, unemployment is at an all-time low. The Russian currency, the ruble, took a huge hit initially, but quickly bounced back to 8-year highs just months after the invasion began. To top it all off, in 2022, Russia has experienced its largest inflow of revenue and its largest trade surplus since its formation from the ashes of the communist Soviet Union. This financial support has given Putin all the resources he needs to continue fueling his bloody military conquest, despite the Western world conducting what amounts to a full-scale economic war in response. It's hard to fathom how Russia's economy has not only survived, but seemingly thrived amidst the turmoil. Some wonder if Putin has crafted a blueprint for other nations with territorial aspirations to follow, or if this is all just an economic mirage that will soon fade away. Yet the roots of this issue dates back well before conflict in Ukraine, well before Putin came to power, and well before the Russian state we know of today even existed. Russia's ability to stave off collapse and continue fighting today and in the future lay not in the current state of affairs, but embedded within the fundamental traits it inherited from the Soviet Union, the precarious path of reform in which it developed, and the delicate political economy Putin has carefully crafted over the last 22 years. After all, armed conflicts are frequently determined by economic power, while the intricate interplay between history and politics plays a crucial role in shaping a nation's economy and how it responds in times of crisis. So what exactly is going on? Why has Russia's economy not collapsed?
Greetings.
Despite Russia having not collapsed, the US economy has been building toward implosion. Look no further than SVB, one of the largest banks in the US, which made global headlines when it collapsed literally overnight just days ago. The disaster didn't just affect banks, but the entire stock market, which saw its worst losses of the year as a result. It shows why, especially in 2022, you can't have all your eggs in one basket. So when considering your choices, let's take a cue from the world's best investors. According to a recent groundbreaking study by Ernst & Young, 8 in 10 ultra-high net worth individuals invest in alternatives outside of stocks. Things like real estate, gold, and private equity. But Bank of America's investment head recommends one specific high-performing alternative to rescue your cash: fine art. Don't believe me? Last year, art prices rose an average of 29%, and Masterworks, the sponsor of this video, delivered an unbelievable 10, 35, and 14% to its investors with its last 3 art sales. See, with Masterworks, diversifying your portfolio with paintings from legends like Banksy and Picasso only takes a few clicks. Now with 650,000 plus members, Masterworks' offerings can sell out in hours, not days. But you can get priority access right now at the link in the description. By the late 1960s, the Soviet Union found itself in a precarious situation, despite decades of impressive economic growth, which in just 40 years had transformed the country from a backwards agricultural society into an industrial behemoth, capable of defeating Germany in World War II and launching the first man and satellite into space. The economy was beginning to stagnate. The government, led by a totalitarian communist regime in which all industry, every price for every good, every salary, and the exact input and outputs of materials and goods was set by the state, proved wildly successful in growing the economy by simply shifting millions of peasants from inefficient farming communities to highly productive heavy industries. However, once the citizens were already working in factories, the system proved incapable of squeezing out extra productivity from them. This stemmed from an underlying lack of incentives for citizens to work harder, more efficiently, or to innovate. After all, why do more if you wouldn't be paid more and if it was nearly impossible to be fired? While later reforms tried to implement wage scales to improve incentives, when workers went to buy goods, they often could not do so, as shortages came to define the Soviet system, while variety and quality of goods remained subpar. The fundamental reforms that would have improved the productivity of the economy never came to fruition.